Well, hi. Good morning. Welcome to Monday. Chief Meteorologist Tim Miller. Hope you had a great weekend. Ready to start another week, are we? I think school's officially in session now, all over the place, as far as I know. Am I right about that, Amani? Yeah. Uh, so be careful, especially out driving. School buses and kids darting in and out. They're excited about going back to school. At least most are excited about going back to school. I know I was always excited because I always got new clothes going back to school. So always, it's time for new clothes. So that was always exciting. Anyway, so we have school buses. We've got fog sometimes in some areas. So just a little extra caution. What is this week going to be? It's going to be typical August weather. We're entering the famous dog days of summer. That's where really nothing goes on. I mean, we don't have fronts that come by to really bring us any type of cooler weather. It doesn't happen. Well, they may get in the area and maybe spark off more showers and storms. Don't think we're going to have that this week. Uh, Nothing really moves, right? High pressure is normally in place, and that's pretty much the case. We have high pressure to our north, high pressure off towards our east, and it's just hot. And this is going to be hot and humid all this week here. So let's get right into it this morning here. Let me get you the temperatures. We'll start in the upstate. This is Greenville, Spartanburg, up near the Piedmont, near Rock Hill and Lancaster counties. Generally speaking, low 90s temperatures will be relevant here. Yeah, got to look at, you go to parts of the North Carolina mountains, they're in the upper 70s. My goodness. Of course, higher elevation, obviously. So that's the temperature, low 90s for much of the upstate and the Piedmont. Then we throw in the heat index here, feeling like 100 in Greenville a little bit later on today. Spartanburg at 99, Rock Hill feeling like 100, Greenwood 100, even Seneca at 100 degrees. But you just cross the mountains and quickly that's erased. I mean, it really is. And also because I think we'll have a better chance of some showers and some storms there. All right, so that's for Greenville. Where else are we going to go next? Well, it's a good thing you asked. We'll head to the Midlands here. This is what we're looking at over the next several days. The feels like temperature. That's when you take the actual temperature and you throw in the humidity. Our temperatures this week across the Midlands typically about 95, 96. That's higher than average. The average high now is 92. Good news is a few weeks ago was the average high was 93, so we're headed on that downslide, but it's a long it's a long slide. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Columbia 105 Tuesday, Wednesday a cooler 104, Thursday 107. Look at Friday 108. Again, that's the heat index, what it feels like when you throw the humidity in the mix here. Sumter, Orangeburg, Lancaster about 106. Look at Orangeburg 111 by the time we get to Friday. That's when it's dangerous heat. If we actually, and I may tweak this as we go along here, but as we get up to the Friday time frame, if that holds, there will definitely be heat advisories that will be issued. No doubt about that. So again, the most important thing we got to remember is that kids are back to school. A lot of outdoor activities. Keep an eye on them. Make sure everybody's hydrated. Once you start feeling thirsty and you're sweating profusely, you've already reached that point of heat exhaustion, frankly, and you really need to pay heed to that because that can sneak up on you quickly. All right, so let's head now to the low country, find out what's going on there. It's just going to be hot this week, no doubt about that. Um, they're calling it an escalating heat wave, and that just may be the case here. Let's see what it says here. So Tuesday and Wednesday, highs will climb into the mid 90s, factoring the humidity, heat index feeling like 110 from Charleston all the way down to Beaufort and further areas south. Thursday and Friday, the peak heat index will have temperatures surging into the 90s. We could certainly see, well over 100 degrees here, maybe even 115 degrees. I mean, 115 degrees. I mean, that is unbelievable. So again, this is going to be later on in the week. So as we exponentially get through the week here, it's just going to be hotter. So what we need is a cooling thunderstorm, and I don't see a whole lot of those on the horizon. Let me get to what we're looking at here. I do want to get to the tropics. Before I do that, though, let me get to this. Let's start off by talking about severe weather chances today. I don't really see any of that. I had somebody message me, and this is so typical. And again, I love it, mind you. She was very concerned about the chance of tornadoes happening with some of these thunderstorms. I guess she has an outdoor event or some event that she's going to on today, in fact. And she wanted to know if there's going to be any tornadoes near Aiken. I said, no, don't see any tornadoes near Aiken today. But this is what happens when we get these when severe weather. Anytime severe weather threatens, people get all bent out of shape, and I get it because it's nerve wracking. So anytime you have a question about that, always feel free to message me. A big chance of severe weather today is basically here in the Midwest, basically from Philadelphia to Peoria, Illinois, the land of Lincoln, and that also includes the city of Chicago, Indianapolis, Columbus, Cincinnati, Cleveland. So just be careful for that if you're headed that way. For us, this general light green is thunderstorms. So again, hit and miss thunderstorms coming up for today. Let's look at the satellite view. Very interesting. If you had an opportunity to see this, especially if you're in the Midlands. If you're in the Midlands looking south, you probably saw this towering thundercloud. Somebody sent me a picture of it, and they said, what a pretty cloud. Well, that was actually this little guy right there. It was a little thunder shower. It really wasn't a thunderstorm. There was no storm about it, but certainly enough to where it had an anvil cloud at the top. And it's currently now over Orangeburg. So, yeah, this sort of popped up. Really cool to look at. So if the person that sent me that picture was from Casey, right, which is just south of Columbia. It's near the airport. And so looking south, they took this picture of this storm that was probably 40, 50 miles away. And you could see it. I mean, it's really pretty picture. You'll see a lot of that on the coast, right? If you're on the coast and you're looking out over the ocean, in fact, at nighttime, you won't be able to see it now, the sun is out, but at nighttime along the coast, you could probably see that these lightning strikes that you see here, you could probably see that from the coast. Not now, again, because the sun is shining, but it was nighttime and seeing that, yeah, and it's, you're talking hundreds of miles away. It's a little cool little sight there. Great indication that we're have a chance for some afternoon scattered showers and thunderstorms all across the state, but I really don't see this to be any big severe weather. Let's get to 2 o'clock this afternoon, and right on cue, you have the sea breeze front. So from Hilton Head all the way to Myrtle Beach, right along the coast here, we're going to get those scattered showers and storms. The wind blows along the coast. These showers and storms pop up. They typically move inland. Let's see if that's the case. They do. So by 5 o'clock, they've crossed I-95. Some are trying to make it into Columbia. This is 5 o'clock. By 8 o'clock, yeah, they may make it, but they've lost a lot of punch, which is so typical. I mean, they start off strong, and the further they move inland, they lose their luster. And then there's 11 o'clock tonight. So let's get to tomorrow. We'll show you tomorrow's forecast. This is 8 o'clock in the morning. Here's 11. There's 2 p.m. And there's 5 p.m. This has a decent amount of showers and storms pop up. I'd say anywhere 40 to 50%. I think that's underdone. I think that's overdone. I think we're going to have a little less than that. So my feeling is, generally speaking, throughout the state, anywhere from 20 to 30%. That's more like 50, 60%. For tomorrow. So let's keep that 20 to 30% chance of showers and storms at any point of the day. Anytime after 12 noon, there's a chance of showers and storms all this week. You may get one day, and you won't get it for 2 more days, and the next day you may get a storm. So you know how it is, pop up, and they won't last long. And for my friend worried about tornadic activity, don't see any of that. I do say that some of these storms could contain some brief gusty winds, there's no doubt about that, and some very heavy torrential downpour rain. Don't forget, we've got all this juice in the air, right? And then all you need is that sun to go boop, sort of like if you were starting a grill, right? You know, all the charcoals are there, you put the lighter fluid on, all you need is a match, and that matches the sun. And then you have the storms fire up. So again, not expecting any severe weather or big outbreak of severe weather, not going to happen. But some quick heavy downpours, some gusty winds in some of these storms wouldn't surprise me at all this week. All right. So most of the week we're going to remain dry until we get 1 or 2 of these little showers. My thinking is by the weekend we should have a front that approaches from the north and sort of stalls out over us. That'll give us a better chance of scattered showers and thunderstorms throughout the state, and then lower the temperatures a little bit. That's towards the weekend. We'll dive into that as we get closer to it. In the meantime, all precautions are on the heat. Let's check out the tropics, find out what's going on. We've got 3 areas to talk about here, all of which are not very impressive. I will tell you that right now. Let's talk about the one closest to home here. I know it's hard to see, so I will tell you what it says. It's all in weather ease. A trough of low pressure located a few hundred miles northwest of Bermuda is producing disorganized shower and thunderstorm activity. The chance of formation over the next 7 days is 10%. So let's not worry about that. How about this one? Further towards the south here, a broad area of showers and thunderstorms associated with a tropical wave, which is right here, moving in this direction, is located midway between the coast of West Africa and the Lesser Antilles. Some gradual development of the system is possible through midweek. Again, this is from the National Hurricane Center. Their thinking is 10% over the next 48 hours and 10% over the next 10 days. This is why, and this is the part that I got to stress, when you see stuff on social media and people blow this stuff up, it is just many. I don't get aggravated over many things, but boy, I tell you, that always drives me crazy because they want to fuel the fire, right? The tropics are heating up and it's been slow, but now we're going to have all these storms develop. 10%? If my math is correct, I may be wrong. Correct me if I'm wrong. If my math is correct, there's a 90% chance that nothing's going to happen, right? There's a 10% chance it will. That means 90% chance it won't. I'm going to err on the side of 90%. With that said, all things can change, of course. In the tropics, that's typical. But to blow it out of proportion right now, nothing for us to worry about. Let's check this guy out. This one's a little different. This one has a little bit more character to it. From the National Hurricane Center, an area of low pressure located a few hundred miles south of the Cape Verde Islands, producing organized. I need my glasses. I can't read here. As the system moves westerly, a tropical wave currently over Africa is expected to merge with it in a couple of days. The environment. Okay, so they're expecting basically two systems to become one, and in the next 7 days, a 60% chance of this developing into something worth watching. That may be worth watching. However, I think everything's headed out to sea. Right? Everything that I'm watching at this point has it merging. This thing's headed out. This thing, I don't think it's going to last very long. This one has potential, but again, I think it merges out to sea. So again, not a bit surprised that we're getting a little bit more activity. We're headed towards the peak hurricane season, which is now really the peak. The top of the mountain is September the 10th. So we're getting closer, right? We're eking our way closer to the top. So we're going to continue that climb. So we're going to start to get these little developments, these little systems that develop. But right now, everything shows these things to be very, very weak and not really forming at all. But again, I will keep an eye on it for you because the tropics are not going to get by us. We're going to keep tabs on all of it. So anyway, the big takeaway today, stay hydrated, stay indoors, in and out. Try to limit anything outdoors till at least before noon. And then after 12 noon, try to stay inside to really just get away from all the heat. All right, that's the very latest. Stay cool today on your Monday. We'll see you soon.